Greetings all, Fanny here for Gemini's weekly message. Gemini, I hope you guys are having a good start to your week. Oh, I love this so much. So, straight away, there is happiness that is being offered and presented to you. Because we have the Hierophant that has come out. Someone who is very powerful and sure of themselves in their faith and their religious foundations. They're also very wise and in tune with themselves. We have the Ace of Cups and the Ten of Cups, a journey to happiness, to fulfillment. And I believe that it will be coming from aid and support of this Hierophant person. This Taurean energy of someone who's coming in to support, love, and guide you, because perhaps you've been trying to work on yourself, trying to work on your happiness, but it's very difficult to do by yourself. Doing and going on your own odyssey of happiness and self-discovery is very difficult to do, especially if you don't have a lot of confidence or support in yourself. If you don't have a support network for yourself and for the world around you, if you don't have the understanding that you deserve that, or you have even been presented with that as an option. Pardon me, Gemini. A lot of people don't even recognize themselves as someone who deserves love because they've always been put in a situation where they had to do something for someone else or for someone else. And you put so much of your own happiness on the back burner because you think it means that you think happiness means someone else being happy around you. But you deserve your own people celebrating you, and that will require you to go on a journey to decide who you are outside of being in service to someone else, outside of being support and aid to someone else. And it will take some work. Work on yourself, work on your dreams, work on the things that you love. But that is the source of it all, is love. Being in love with yourself, being in love with life, being in love with what you do. Whatever love means to you. You have the Tower in reverse at the bottom of the deck. I don't want you to prevent a monumental change in your life because you're afraid of things falling down, or you're afraid of being loved, with the Lovers in reverse at the bottom of the deck underneath the Tower. I don't want you to feel like just because you haven't had it yet, or it hasn't been presented to you in the way that you want yet, that it isn't happening. First of all, realism. There is no one that is going to be the absolute perfect, on the same level as you kind of person, because that would just mean you are dating yourself. And maybe that's what you want to do, but if you are looking for something in someone else, you have to understand that that is an individual with their own story, with their own journey, dreams, wants, and wishes. Like, I was watching Love on the Spectrum last night on Netflix, and I absolutely adored it because as someone who is on the autism spectrum, who has had a hard time in the aspects of love, seeing that as, like, people trying and there are ways to communicate, it is very nice. But there was one individual that broke it off with the person that she was seeing because he was not in her same level. Like, she had already, like, at the age of 14, made an animation company. She knew what she wanted to do. And the person that she was really into was a lot more on their own hermitage, on their own journey of spirituality. And he was not on the same level as her. And she was just like, well, he needs to, like, sort out his future. He needs to sort out his dreams. And, like, that's perfectly fine. But you have to understand that every single person is on a different part of their journey than you. Every single person is fighting a war you know nothing about. So trying to be calm and understanding of other people is important. And we have a fiery climax approaches. So, like I said, this Tower moment is inevitable. Please do not prevent this because you are afraid of something. Adjustments are required. Third quarter mood. I would agree. There is a sense of stubbornness and self-protection that I am feeling here, and I recognize that very well, because my walls have been up so high, it has prevented so many opportunities from even occurring. Which, of course, rejection is divine protection. Sometimes the reason that we are so rejected and repelled by the general public is because that is spirit trying to protect our light, trying to protect our soul from relationships that are not good for us, relationships that do not serve our greatest and highest good, and would only hurt us further. This is something that we have to understand. Like, everything happens for a reason. Work through your fears, my love. It is going to be difficult. It is going to be frightening. But on the other side of it, it will be so much better, because you will be grateful for what you went through. You will be grateful for the challenges and what you have learned. You are good enough for love. You are good enough for happiness. You are good enough to be seen, to be loved, to be cared for. We have flow that has come out. This state has been calling to you for some time now. You know it well. Your body craves it. Your heart cries out for it. In the state in which the body and the heart and the mind dance together as one. The state in which everything is easeful, where creating and doing and being come naturally. This is your permission slip. Lean into it. Go ahead. Take a breath in and release any lingering ties to the outcome. The open space within you that allows for flow to be. I think that definitely goes back to the amount of cups energy that we had, the Hermit and the Hierophant coming out here, because these are people that move in the flow of energy. The Hermit is going on his own journey, his pilgrimage to discover who he is. The Hierophant knows not to doubt themselves or their energy flow, and to follow it before it makes sense. So this is a journey of self-trust and self-love. And yes, you are deserving of this, but things have to shift, things have to adjust, because how things have been occurring has not been working to the greatest ability. And I'm not attacking you in any way. I'm not saying you haven't been doing good. I'm saying that there are ways that you can do better. It's not that you have done things wrong. It's not that you've wasted your time or your energy. You have learned so much. But we do our best until we know better. And then we do better. You can't blame yourself for knowing something that you didn't know. You can't blame yourself for going about things in a way that you didn't know that you could go about. But when you do learn those ways, when you do see things from a different perspective and decide how you will move forward, that is the biggest impact. It is you having the strength to change direction. You having the strength to give up control. To be in that flow state of just letting things occur and moving about it, trying to find the best and brightest things that occurred from the situation. Literally state this. What is the best that can happen? Because so often we state the opposite. We go into a situation and say, hey, what's the worst that could happen? And we say that from a place of optimism, from a place of care. But when you understand the law of attraction, mentality shapes reality. What we say becomes our reality. When you ask, what is the worst that could happen? You notice things kind of went to shit. That's because you asked Spirit to show you the most horrible things that could happen in this situation. You were putting that point in your brain on to recognize that. When you put in your brain the point to recognize and focus on the positive things, the good things, you find them a lot easier. And it's not that people suddenly started being kind. You recognize the kindness. You recognize the change. You recognize the impact, the smile that something you did or someone else did brought to your face or someone else's face. Your life and your state of flow have so much ability to change. And it will require you to work through fears and consciously make those changes. And that is scary. But it is so worth it when you know what happiness feels like. When you know what love feels like. You don't want anything else. Have a beautiful day, my love.